Hi, I want to talk about local government and the importance that federal government can have in playing a role to support local government. Now, obviously, local government and your local council, it's the level of government which is most close to the people and most responsive to their needs. And it's something that is very precious, and it's actually the start of people getting more and more engaged in democratic political issues. And so it's very important to support it. What's been happening, as we've seen over the last few decades, increasing financialisation and privatisation, is the efforts to merge councils into mega councils. And this is a big problem that is massively opposed by local communities, but pig-headed state governments just keep going ahead with it. And that's what we saw recently with Marrickville, Ashfield and Leichhardt. They became Mashfart, the Inner West Council, and people are really unhappy with that. And it actually causes costs to rise, and it reduces people's ability to have a say in local matters that affect them. We all know that the Inner West Council was formed partly as a way to silence the anti-WestConnex movement, and now I'm involved in a campaign to de-merge Leichhardt, Marrickville and Ashfield back into its three original councils, and we managed to get a poll held where 62.5% of voters said yes, we do want to de-merge, and we're now sort of on the road to seeing if we can make that happen. Unfortunately, Darcy Byrne and the Labor majority team on council are doing all they can to stymie the process and hide it and reduce public involvement in it. Another thing that I was involved with at the City of Sydney level is doing my utmost to oppose the undemocratic gerrymander of the voting system in the City of Sydney. So under the Baird state Liberal government, they made a law that gave 2 votes to businesses but only 1 vote to residents. How undemocratic is that? I mean, are we living in the medieval period? This is just so wrong. It just runs against all democratic principles. So what we did, we got together Friends of Erskineville and other resident action groups, and we started a petition. We called it One Vote, One Value. We got over 1,600 signatures on that one. We held a public meeting with the New South Wales Council of Civil Liberties, who supported our campaign, and we had the whole council, with the exception of the Liberal and the Conservative Independent 3 councillors, support us in that campaign, and wrote articles and got a bit of media in the lead up to the recent council elections. And guess what? Well, the only person who was really vocally supporting the gerrymander for business, the Conservative Independent, she lost her councillor spot and was replaced by Sylvie Ellesmore, the Green. So, that was chalk that little victory up. And other things that local government can do, like the City of Sydney, declared a climate emergency 3 years ago. It supports bike lanes. It supported the anti-WestConnex movement. They can actually take community power and elevate it up to have a strong voice at the state and federal government levels very often. But it needs to go much further, of course. And one thing that the federal government could do would be they already do provide some funding to local councils, but not nearly enough for the services that it's expected to provide. So if the federal government properly recognised local government in the Constitution, is one suggestion, it would be able to fund it directly and provide better services. So some of the services that local government can provide are, public council housing, domestic violence services, aged care support, legal services, childcare, and many more. So, basically, we want, better federal support of local government to give people a voice in local democracy.
Authorised by P. Boyle for Socialist Alliance, Ultimo, New South Wales.